Hey everyone, welcome to 5 More Minutes, the show where two friends relive their childhoods, reset their internet, and learn about things they missed out on. I'm Kendra.
And I'm Scott.
And we just spent 40 minutes trying to get the internet to work, but it's fine.
And we just learned the difference between 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi.
Yeah, well, the technical definitions,
Right.
Yeah, but anyways, I watched the last episode of season 2 of The Witcher this morning.
Very nice.
I watched episodes 5, 6, and 7 last night, and it was really pissing me off, and I was a little bit too, crossfaded to watch the last episode. But I was very angry at it. It was making me mad.
Why?
Because, everyone was just being, stupid. And then, spoilers, and then Ciri was, possessed by the, I don't ever remember how to say it.
No, it's like the Witch of the Woods.
Yeah. And she has elder blood, and then they were so excited to have a baby elf, and then at the end you find out that that's her dad.
Oh yeah.
And what happened to her mom, and why did they all think he was dead, and where was he, and why is he just now trying to get her back? And those people from the R place, they're dumb.
The R place.
The red with the bald guy and the owl.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And how did they know? And how was that flame guy finding out stuff when no one was telling him things? Scared told him he didn't know how to get there. Mm-hmm. And then he just showed up and he killed those people. He burnt them alive.
He did. Well, I think behind the scenes, he's probably doing a lot of interrogation.
It's just annoying.
Kendra needs to see every step.
Yes,
of the process.
And I don't know. It's just, but Yennefer got her magic back. So
yeah. So you were more frustrated at the political parts of it. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's just so many things going on, and I should have rewatched season 1, because then I was confused a couple times because I couldn't remember some of that stuff that was important to remember. And because I was why are the Nilfgaard people in that place, and then the stuff with the elves? I don't know, there's just a lot going on.
Yeah
When it's been 2 years since you've watched it.
Yeah, I almost felt like I should have watched it again too, because it was almost like they would introduce a new character, but they would kind of act like, oh, should I know who this person is already?
Yeah.
So there was a lot of that, and then trying to remember. I roughly did, but luckily made it through.
Nisa watched it over here, but I was building the website and I wasn't paying attention. And I was I should have just watched it because, and she's playing the game, so she knew some of the stuff too.
Yeah, that definitely helps.
I was, it was mad, and then it ended, and I was just he was my daughter or whatever, and I was no. I literally yelled something like that because I was just what? Because it doesn't show his face yet, But,
yeah. As soon as he
was in, I ordered the baby to be killed, and they were oh crap.
Oh no! What the heck?
Our lie didn't work.
Yeah, I guess if you haven't watched The Witcher, there's probably a lot of confusing stuff. But
yeah,
season 2, get on it. It's pretty good. I still enjoyed it. I thought the part that I was a little frustrated with was kind of the final stuff with Ciri, like you're saying, because she does get possessed. She has problems. She has all this power. She's a child of prophecy or whatever. But the amount of Witchers that suffered because of her at that end part was a little tough to take.
Yeah, but she can rebuild them too,
I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. It was, some of them unnecessarily died, I feel like.
Yeah.
And I was surprised. Didn't die, and he was in that room with the whole time.
Yeah, he was just kind of screaming about. But the amount of people they showed die was pretty high. So I was oh man, all these characters would be dead. But then at the end, they were all still there. I was oh, so are there just way more people here than they showed the whole time?
That's true.
What it seemed like.
I guess there were. You mean like in the Calmoran or whatever?
Yeah.
I guess there were some times where like that room was pretty full, and they were just people that we don't ever really interact with.
Yeah, just some background extras, basically.
But I don't know.
Some
I
real
feel
feelings
like
there.
I feel like obviously he should be mad at Yen, but she also did change her mind at the end. And the witch like still like took over Siri even though they were leaving. So it wasn't really her fault because I think she would have found her no matter what.
Yeah.
And but yeah.
I think they purposely made him like be too much extra hard on her.
Oh, it was also really bothering me that no one told him that she was alive. Like Triss or whatever was there. Is that her name?
Yes.
And she just like never told him. And she tried to sleep with him.
Yep.
And I was just like, are you gonna tell him? Like,
yeah, that was kind of funny because I mean, he never said outright that he thought she was dead or whatever, but I get that. But the way that he was acting, she should have been like, oh yeah, have you seen her? Or you know something.
I'm also just a little confused with what the purpose of the Brotherhood is, and I feel like I just don't remember.
Brotherhood.
Yeah.
Why can't I remember who those are?
That's like the magic people, like Tisei is in it.
Oh, it's just kind of like another political group that's just, making sure things go well.
Yeah, but they want her to die.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They want murder. And it was so weird to be like, fire magic is so bad. Don't ever do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that crazy little freak mage. But then, yeah, the Brotherhood was all super against Yennefer because she used it in that first season.
But she like saved him.
She did. But that's, I guess, the political part. Like, yeah, screw that.
And I don't really understand what gave her magic back.
Yeah, because it was just right at the end there.
It was, I think, like being in that, or it was, well, she made it seem like when she was explaining it that she felt it come back before they transported into that other place. So it must have just been because she was sacrificing something. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think for once, she finally put someone else above her getting her powers back, which was like the main thing that was keeping them away.
Mm-hmm.
That dang witch of the woods and the little hut.
Yeah.
Yeah, but other than that,
I was confused for a while because the witch, I think because the witch wanted Ciri's body, she was like portraying herself as kind of looking like an older demented version of Ciri.
Mm-hmm.
And so at first I was like, wait, is that like already Ciri? Is there like more weird timeline stuff going on? But I think she was just making herself look like that.
And I don't think she was supposed to look like Ciri when she was old.
She just did, but she kept saying like, steal me, or like not her. Like her wording was weird.
Well, yeah, but then she turned into
body.
the young. Then she turned into the young version when she did. So
yeah, it was just confusing for.
Confusion.
But anyways, that's what I'm all worked up about today. So
just the Witcher, basically
playing with my little dragon. Yeah,
she's got a little movable resin dragon that she printed.
Mm-hmm.
So
have you set up your printer yet?
Oh, so I was gonna build it yesterday, and I pulled it all out, and 2 knobs were like falling off in the packaging. So I was confused, and then when I pulled the mat off of the build plate or whatever, and you could see where, I don't know if it like took a hit, but like screws had jumped through the bottom into the top. I'll send you a picture later, but I sent a picture to Sawyer and I was like, I don't think this is supposed to be like this. And he's like, no, yeah. And he sent me a picture and his was like totally flat and pristine. So mine was like damaged during shipping. So I have to send it back.
That sucks.
Yeah. So
I forgot that the brand of my resin printer has a printer that's supposed to be comparable to the Ender 3. So I might get that if I ever have enough extra money to buy one.
Nice. You just have all the printing all the time.
Yeah. Because I just want to make like bigger things and stuff.
Yeah.
I started painting this lady the other day when we didn't have school. I need to touch up her shirt before I move on.
Look at that. She's got one arm.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's just a bust.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of the same thing as this guy who has no arms.
True. Look
there
at that
are
gladiator.
full-bodied versions I can print. For some reason, the movie 300 is like trending on Netflix.
I wonder if they like announced
it's like
something
number
about it.
8 in the world or something. When I got on Netflix this morning, it popped up.
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure I only watched that once.
Or if they maybe recently added it and it wasn't on there.
Yeah, I don't know.
Weird.
But who knows?
Yeah, sad day because I was gonna get that set up and start printing, but I had ordered a roll of filament for the printer too, and apparently that just got lost in shipping because it never arrived.
Everything's like lost and getting messed up. Like my protein powder is supposed to get delivered on Wednesday, and it went from Troutdale back towards Portland. And then it hasn't like left there yet. And I mean, all the highways were closed, so if it needed to be moved via road, like WSU delayed the start of their semester by 2 days to allow people to travel back because all the highways were closed until today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like all of them.
Well, that's pretty crazy. One of the guys I work with got stuck in Boise this last week after the New Year, so he had to like wait down there 2 days for the highways to clear.
Yeah, I think it like snowed all over the country because like people that I follow, you know, that I don't know IRL, but live like famous people, they were all posting there's like snow everywhere.
There was a lot of snow, and now it's just like a slushy, nasty mess out there.
Yeah.
Which is sucky. And it seems, I don't know what it is about Troutdale, but Troutdale triggers me now because that's where all of the packages that I've pretty much have been lost have been through Troutdale, like everyone. So I don't know what it is. It must be like a major shipping center, but they've had some problems.
I should find the because I found like it was like an ad or something, or I saw it on Reddit or something, but I found some filament that was like super cool. You should get some like color changing. Ooh, they also make wood filament that you can sand and stain.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like a wood plastic blend, kind of like decking, probably.
Oh, like the composite material.
Yeah, and apparently it's receptive to stain and stuff. So if you make stuff that's supposed to look like wood, you can stain it.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. Well, I guess we can start talking about the stuff because we've already been on Zoom for like 50 minutes.
Yeah. Technical difficulty.
Yeah. We're going to talk about the only video game that I think I've ever played to completion.
Wow.
Well, except for like sports games like All-Star Baseball 2005 or whatever. But we're going to talk about Kingdom Hearts. And this game eluded me for like 16 years of my life. And then one day I was like, you know what? You're going to do it.
You're going to do it. So what year did you start playing it?
Well, I was trying to think about this because I got my PlayStation in 6th grade, but you moved here in 6th grade.
Right.
And I don't know when we really started like hanging out, but I don't think it was 6th grade. So I would have started it sometime during 7th grade or 8th grade.
Okay.
So somewhere between the years like 2003 and 2005.
Nice.
Or 2000, 5.
And when did it come out? Like 2002?
I will tell you. Yes. It was released in 2002. Maybe I'll do like the background information and then have you watch the video before we get into the gameplay part.
Okay, that sounds good.
Because the video is funny, and I just want to see what you think.
But I guess, long story short, you finally beat the game in what year?
I think 2019.
So just a couple years ago.
In grad school.
3 now, I guess.
Yeah, it was sometime during grad school, and I did start the second one, and I never finished. I just can't remember. It would have, I'm sure, been 2019 because I don't think I finished it. It was either the fall of 2018 or like the beginning of 2019. But so I started this on my PlayStation 2 sometime in middle school. And then I had a really hard time beating Ursula. And I pretty much like needed Scott to hold my hand the entire time I was playing the game. Obviously not really because you can't use a controller, you know, when you're holding hands, but you get the idea. And then I finally beat Ursula. That was so hard for me. I don't remember why. And then my stupid memory card corrupted sometime shortly after that. And I was so mad that I didn't start playing it again. And then sometime either, I don't remember if it was still in college the first time or not, or right afterwards. It must have been afterwards that I got it at least, because I didn't have it for very long. But they came out with the PlayStation 3 version, and I got it at some point. maybe not right when it came out. And I started playing it again. And then I got a PlayStation 4.
Right.
So I couldn't play it anymore because I got rid of my PlayStation 3 when I got my PlayStation 4. And then it took them a few years to come out with the PlayStation 4 version. And then I got it and then I played it for a little bit and then I stopped because that's what I do when I play video games.
Right.
That I have to think about. And then at some point, I was like, you know what, Kendra? You're going to do it.
You're going to do it, and you finally did.
I tried to play the one with the cards or whatever, but that was just pissing me off. I think I went through and watched all of the cutscenes for the other games, though. And then I started the second one. And I don't remember how far I got, but maybe like halfway or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I tried to play that card one back when it was originally out for like Game Boy Advance or whatever it was. And it was just not the same. I mean, I didn't really enjoy the whole card gimmick thing. So I played probably a third or maybe half of it. And then I also did what you did. I just ended up watching cutscenes. So
yeah. Anyway, so Kingdom Hearts, if you don't know, is an action role-playing video game developed by Square, now Square Enix, in collaboration with Disney that was released for the PlayStation 2 console in 2002. And I am not going to lie that most of my notes are copy and pasted from Wikipedia.
Nice.
So the initial idea for Kingdom Hearts began with a discussion between Shinji Hashimoto, who I feel like we've talked about before, unless there's someone else named Hashimoto, and Hironobu Sakaguchi, who was a Final Fantasy person, about Super Mario 64. So they wanted to make a game with freedom of movement in 3 dimensions like Super Mario 64. But they thought that the only characters as popular as Disney's could rival a Mario game. So they didn't feel like they could make characters necessarily that would just in its own sense, like, you know, be better than, you know, Mario and Luigi in the game.
And at other points, people had already tried, you know, you already had like PlayStation's versions of Crash Bandicoot who did okay, but, you know, couldn't stand up to Mario. And then even Sonic to some extent was really good, but couldn't quite cut it.
So then Tetsuya Nomura, who also was working on Final Fantasy, pretty much all these guys were on Final Fantasy, overheard the conversation and volunteered to lead the project. And so those 2 producers who I just mentioned agreed to let him direct. And I don't know in what order some of these things happened, but at some point Square was sharing a building in Tokyo with Disney. And Hashimoto was in an elevator with a Disney executive. And there they conceived the crossover between Square Enix and Disney called Kingdom Hearts. Yes. So elevator conversations are very important to video game development.
Yeah.
So they struck down a bunch of proposals in order to pursue their own concept that consisted or featuring an original character that wasn't based on Disney property, which would be Sora. And then the production team consisted of members from both. And they, you know, did all the worlds and the characters you interact with in them and stuff. So the game began development in February of 2000. When we were 8 years old at that point, because we hadn't had our birthdays yet.
Ooh.
And originally focused more on gameplay with a simple story to appeal to Disney's target age range.
Gotcha.
When choosing which Disney worlds to include, they tried to pick worlds that had distinctively different looks. So not all like the same, you know, cookie cutter.
Wow. There you go.
Cookie cutter worlds.
Yeah.
And they also tried to take into account worlds with Disney characters that would be interesting. In a June 2013 interview, Nomura stated the name of the game was inspired by Disney theme parks, particularly Animal Kingdom, which had recently opened when development on the game began, but Nomura could not secure the IP as just Kingdom. Later on, when the development team began to think about hearts as a core of the story, it was decided to combine the 2 to form the title Kingdom Hearts. So the producers, like I mentioned, were Hashimoto, was one of them, and then I don't know if at some point this changed and the other guy wasn't, or if this is for later ones or whatever. But it also listed Yoshinori Kitase as a producer, and then Nomura as the director. And Nomura designed a lot of the characters and monsters for the Final Fantasy series. And both Hashimoto and Kitase worked on Final Fantasy.
Very nice.
It is the 10th best-selling PlayStation 2 game of all time. Do you want to take a stab at what the first one is?
The best-selling PlayStation game of all time?
PlayStation 2.
PlayStation 2?
Yeah.
I guess just for quantity, I'm going to say Call of Duty.
Nope.
Ooh, what do we got?
Grand Theft Auto San Andreas.
Okay. I suppose that makes sense.
Yeah. There are 2 Final Fantasy games on the top 10. You got any stabs at those?
At that time, it would have been Final Fantasy X.
Yep.
And then, so it'd either be one before or after that. So it must have been 9?
Nope, 7 is also on the list.
For PlayStation 2?
That's what it says, Final Fantasy 7.
I wonder if they did.
His release date was 2006, which is, I don't know. I don't know when the PlayStation 3 came out, but
interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, Gran Turismo 3, Gran Turismo 4, Grand Theft Auto Vice City. I really wanted Grand Theft Auto games, the San Andreas one, but my mom would never let me get them, even though the gaming console I paid for with my own money.
Yeah, but they were like M for mature, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Final Fantasy X, Grand Theft Auto 3, Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty, nice. Tekken 5, and then Final Fantasy 7 and Kingdom Hearts.
Wow.
My podcast that I listen to, NADPod, apparently they like Final Fantasy 9 a lot, and they use it for a lot of inspiration, and I want to play it.
9 is one of those ones that's rated really high. So,
and I can't even get myself to play 7, but that's fine. I've downloaded it now on to both the PlayStations I currently have. But
nice.
Anyways, I just thought that would be fun. Wanted to go through that list. Anyways, I think this is still correct, but as a whole, the series has 9 main sequels, but there's like 13 games total. I think it just only counts some of those as main, whatever.
Yeah, it has some spin-offs.
And has sold over 35 million copies worldwide. Yeah. Isn't there now a third one?
There is.
Did you play it?
I did. I played it and beat it.
I haven't finished the second one yet.
Tisk. That was 2019, I think. Oh. It's been a while already.
I'm outdated. Maybe that's the time I was finishing the first one.
That could be.
I think that is actually why. And then I forgot it existed.
And you're like, I don't know what's on your coffee mug, but there is something in there that the green screen catches when you have it back. Yeah, you could like see through the little dice on it.
It's a Pride mug.
Pride dice mug.
It has all of them.
Oh, nice.
I see.
Yeah, there you go.
Donald.
You can see Donald. Right through the middle.
Oh, there's his leg.
Wow. Impressive.
All right. Anyways, it's yellow, so it must be like just the right color to.
Oh, makes sense.
Okay, we'll talk about the audio super quickly, and then I'll send you the link for the video.
Okay.
So the music was composed by Yoko Shimomura, with orchestral music arranged by Karu Wada. And ever since I made these notes, I've had simple and clean stuck in my head. So literally for like a week and a half.
Yeah.
So the main vocal theme for the original Japanese release is titled Hikari, but the English version is simple and clean. Simple and clean is the way that you're making me feel tonight, you know?
Yeah, I remember first seeing that on TV, like the trailer for Kingdom Hearts with that song, and I was like, what the heck is this?
Yeah, it is a little weird. I mean, it's not weird, but like that's not what you think of in your head.
You don't really put Final Fantasy and Disney together just like, that'll work.
Yeah. Both the Japanese and English versions are performed and composed by Hikaru Utada. All right. I'm not good at names, but that's fine.
All
The
right.
voice cast for the Japanese version featured Mayu Urino as Sora, Risa Uchida as Kairi, and Mamoru Miyano as Riku. Other voice actors included Koichi Yamadera, Hideo Ishikawa, and Maya Sakamoto.
Nice.
Whew.
They're pretty good.
For the English version, you had Haley Joel Osment as Sora. That's a famous guy.
It is.
I thought I had like pulled up what they were in, but I must not have.
Haley Joel Osment, Sixth Sense. He was in Tusk, which is a local favorite among our friend group.
I still haven't seen that though, so
he's been in a lot of things.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I think that's why I was like, people know, so I just didn't. And then David Gallagher as Riku.
Okay.
David Gallagher has also been in a lot of stuff. Random thing. Oh, an episode of Walker Texas Ranger.
Whoa.
Yeah. An episode of Numbers. But most of his video games are Kingdom Hearts, except for one, which would be Rocket Power Beach Bandits.
Wow.
And everything else is Riku.
That's funny.
And then Hayden Panettiere as Kairi. And do we need to explain Hayden Panettiere? I feel like she was very pops when we were in high school. Everyone was like, OMG, my celebrity crushes Hayden Panettiere.
Yeah, she was definitely middle school and high school. She was definitely pretty popular.
Yeah. I don't know if she still is or not.
Haven't heard much.
It says like she hasn't been in anything since 2016.
I don't think she might have been one of kind of those younger celebrities that backed off a little bit.
Yeah, active from 98 to 2016, and then maybe she just wants to live her life, you know?
Yeah, she's probably got a good bank account, so she's chilling.
Oh, yeah. Other voice actors included Billy Zane, Christy Carlson Romano, David Boreanaz, James Wood, and Mandy Moore. A special effort was made to preserve the official voice actors of characters from the Disney movies using Kingdom Hearts, but some of them were from the televised series or direct-to-video sequels were chosen over the original voice actors. So, like, the genie isn't Robin Williams; it's who is it? I forget.
I don't remember who did it afterwards.
But it's another popular person.
Yeah.
Anyways, I had that fresh in my brain when I made these, but it's been a while now, so oops.
True.
Anyways, super rad, super cool. You'll love to see it. All right, I'm gonna send you this video, and I should probably rewatch it also because I watched it a week and a half ago. So we'll press play at the same time.
Oh wow.
I will send it in the chatter box. All right, so this video is called So This Is Basically Kingdom Hearts.
Okay.
And it's by Jello Apocalypse, who has 1.85 million subscribers.
That's a lot of subscribers.
Yeah. Are you ready to play the video?
I am, and I think I have seen this before.
Okay, well, you can refresh it in your nog.
Okay.
All right.
Let me know when you're ready.
3, 2, 1, go.
This is not the first time that I've heard a random, what if Goofy were the ultimate bad guy?
I like that version of the song. Anyways, I was trying to find funny videos, and I thought that was great because it really just kind of boils the game down, you know?
Yeah, for sure. It's one of the more convoluted and weird games out there, so it has a lot of weird videos.
Yes. I can't remember what I was searching for, and I didn't find what I was looking for, but I did find that.
Oh, well, it was
and I thought that highlighted, you know, I especially like when you replace the word darkness with bees.
Yeah.
But I forget, what was the fifth word? Hold on.
No, it was like
I wrote them all
friendship
down,
memories.
Yeah, light, darkness, friendship, memories, and then is it heart? Let's see. Yeah, heart.
Nice.
That is all that you need to know about the game. We can stop the podcast.
Wow, it's that easy.
Anyways, I thought that video was funny.
Yeah, it's a good time.
I haven't told you this yet because I bought this and then I thought we were gonna record and we didn't, but I bought this at Barnes and Noble.
Ooh, that's fancy.
Yeah.
Ultimania?
Yeah, Ultimania, the story before Kingdom Hearts 3.
Oh.
And I actually haven't even looked through the whole book yet, but it's got stuff about all the games in it. It's got like stuff about all the characters and which game they were in. I think
that's a really cool looking book with all the chrome and shiny.
Yeah, there was another one that was just about the characters. I don't know if it had like extended versions of what was in this one, but just characters. But it's got like all the Keyblades.
Oh wow.
And then it has like the plots for all the games and stuff. All the enemies, all the different types of Heartless.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, like it's got stuff for each game. Like this one's for Dream Drop Distance.
Oh, wow. Right.
I just smacked my mic, but that's okay.
Editing team.
I bought this. I used my plasma money. I bought this and I bought a Critical Role, like the Chronicles of Exandria book with all their like image for the thing. So I spent like $90 on this. They were like $45 each. But I went there with Matilda and she was looking at young adult lit and I was like, where is the game section? But what I was looking for, and this is me getting a little bit off topic, is there is this Sonic like role-playing game. Have you heard of it?
No.
I think I took a screenshot of it. They've mentioned it on NADPOD a couple of times and they converted it into like a D&D game and like played it. And I thought it would be fun to buy that and like play it and then do a podcast episode on it since you like Sonic.
I mean, Sonic's okay. I don't know much about Sonic, honestly.
Well, you know more about Sonic than me.
I guess that's true.
I can't find it, but I took a picture of it so that I would remember what it was called, but I take so many pictures on my phone that I just
don't know. It gets lost. They're in there somewhere.
Yeah. I probably should have changed my oil filter today now that I'm looking at my pictures, but that's okay because it was actually kind of dry out. Or I should at least like check the oil and make sure that it hasn't gotten low again.
Yeah, that'd probably be a good idea.
Where is this it? It's called Sonic the Hedgehog Adventure Gamebook #1 Metal City Mayhem by James Wallace.
Jesus, that's a title.
Yeah, and it's an adventure booklet you can play through. So I feel like we should do that sometime.
All right. Check it out.
So anyways, I got off topic. Let's talk about gameplay.
Hey.
So it is an action-based hack and slash.
Oh yeah.
There are 3 main characters that can be controlled by the player: Sora, Donald, and Goofy. But when you're in other worlds, you can usually switch one of them out for someone. So like if you're on what's the name of the Little Mermaid island in water?
Atlantica.
Yeah, if you're in Atlantica, you can swap out one character for the Little Mermaid.
Ariel.
Normally, if I didn't switch people out that often, honestly, because depending on who it is, it's not really that beneficial, I feel like. But usually I sacrifice Goofy because he's not really that useful.
Yeah, and control is kind of a strong word.
Yeah, they're fighting
with you.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
You don't really control them, but whatever. But I never got rid of Goofy because he has magic.
I mean Donald?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Donald will sometimes heal you, so that's helpful.
But he dies really fast, I feel like.
He really does. He's dead all the time.
Yeah. Oh, at some point in high school, I got some like Mickey Mouse gloves from like Cody or something. I wish I still had those because I would have totally put them on for this.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I was like, man, why don't I have those anymore?
Yeah.
Okay. I should have grabbed my hard copy PS2 game before I started recording too and brought it up here.
And been like, boom.
Yeah.
I got it.
I did put this up here though. It's just it zoomed in too far, but it's part of the cover art from the.
Yeah.
The game progresses linearly with cutscenes tying the story events together. There are several side quests that provide benefits to the characters. Combat occurs in real time. There is an action meter in the bottom left corner that provides combat options such as magic and items, so like potions and elixirs, but you can only take what you have in the slot for that. You can't use like your backpack ones or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
There's an option for doing special attacks and interacting with items that are relevant to where you are. Sora, along with his allies, both possess a hit point meter and a magic point meter, which increase as they gain experience. So your bar gets bigger. Whoop.
Oh, yeah.
Your magic one can go like...
Yeah, it can get comically bigger and go all the way across the screen.
You can... the magic point meter is divided into various segments that are used up whenever that character performs magic. More powerful magic consumes more of the magic points, and it can be replenished by performing melee attacks or using items. It'll drop these little green... No, is it the green ones? What drops that?
The bubbles are the magic. Yeah. Like the clear bubbles.
Oh, yeah, because there's clear bubbles, there's yellow money, and then there's green for health.
Yep.
So many things. The HP meter determines the character's health, reducing whenever a character takes damage. And there's several different ways you can replenish that. You can do it with magic. You can do it with the little green bubbles. Someone else can heal you. You can take a potion.
Yeah. You can pray that Donald will actually heal you. Sometimes he does.
Mm-hmm. If one of your allies run out of health, they'll be knocked out until someone heals them. But if you lose all health, the game ends and you must resume from the beginning of an area or boss.
Oh, yeah.
Which is why I hated Ursula.
Yeah, Ursula is fun.
Yeah, and we already talked about the orbs, but if you defeat an enemy, they'll kind of burst into orbs. And sometimes if you do a lot of damage to like bigger ones, they'll drop them, but not every time you hit them, I think, right?
Yeah, there's like some big enemies have like phases, so you can like do damage to certain parts of them and then they'll drop things, but they'll still be alive and things like that.
And the yellow ones are money. That's MUNNY, not MONEY.
That's right.
And you can purchase stuff with those when you get to places that are selling things.
Yeah, buy some potions.
Mm-hmm. Oh, or like rings and like things to make you better.
Yeah.
Then you've also got the Gummy Ship. And
that's
that
true.
is the mode of travel. It's like a space. It's like an airship. That's how you get from world to world. So if you will envision Atlantica as a world floating in space, and then all the other ones, and you have to fly there and you have to destroy stuff.
Right.
Like pew, pew, pew. And sometimes it's really dizzying because you spin a lot.
Yeah, you can do some barrel rolls.
And it gets like harder and you have to like open like kind of doors to like get to the other worlds.
Yeah, you can get through like warp holes and stuff to go faster.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of unlocking, if you will, in this game.
Mm-hmm. You have to beat a lot of...
Sometimes you're locking things up, you know? You've got a key as a weapon, so you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, unlock, lock, whatever. A lot of the times you have to actually beat the world you're on before that you have the option to go to the next one. So
if I ever get a regular 3D printer, I'm gonna make myself a Keyblade.
Oh yeah.
You gotta make yourself a full-size Buster Sword.
I'm gonna make so much stuff. You can buy all the filament.
Yeah.
Once I figure it out.
I know Ian sometimes listens to this, but he did kind of set it up.
He did. He's made a step.
Yeah, but I just don't get why you would buy such a nice one and then never use it.
Collector.
His is expensive.
Yeah.
Anyways, sometimes the Gummy Ship can get destroyed or damaged. You can upgrade it. I never really was like that into messing around with the Gummy Ship.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, you can unlock warp drives between previous visited worlds, and then you don't have to. Because it's essentially, when we were at the arcade bar, there was that game where you were flying something and you were shooting things. I feel like that's essentially what the Gummy Ship is, like an old arcade game where you're like flying and you're shooting like blocks, kind of.
Yeah, pretty much. You're flying, you have bullets, and you can shoot things. And when I played, there was a couple times I got real deep into making your own, because you can just make your own ship from scratch if you really want to. And you can make some pretty crazy stuff.
I really don't think I like ever did that. I might have like messed around with it once, but
yeah,
I don't know. It's not my thing, I guess.
Yeah, you can make it through with the normal one if you really want to. So
yeah. All right, so let's talk about the storyline.
Ooh, here we go.
Oh, actually, first let's talk about Keyblades before we get into the storyline.
Okay.
And this information is actually information from the book. These 4 bullet points about what a Keyblade is.
Mm-hmm.
So a Keyblade, this is like the only part of the book that I think I used. So Keyblades are weapons in the shape of keys that have the power to bring all sorts of phenomena. They have the ability to defeat darkness and release hearts captured by monsters of darkness, the Heartless. They can also literally be used as keys to lock and unlock all sorts of keyholes. It's kind of like the Doctor's screwdriver.
Yeah.
Including that of a world's heart. So each world has a heart. And to open the way to Kingdom Hearts, the source of great power.
Great power.
Keyblades were originally created as tools of battle by people who, I hate this word, sought. S-O-U-G-H-T. I can't say it. Sought. Who sought Kingdom Hearts. And this caused the Keyblade War. Regretting this, current Keyblade wielders essentially act as guardians of the realm of light, so they're often called guardians of light. After going through the bequeathing, a person becomes able to use a Keyblade when the weapon itself chooses them. The bequeathing is complete when the person touches the Keyblade master through the Keyblade. The new wielder uses a different Keyblade than the master does. A Keyblade chooses its wielder by determining if the person in question has a strong heart, regardless of whether the heart is good or evil. Keyblades are a symbol of the heart's strength, and there are as many Keyblades as there are wielders' hearts. Since Sora possesses 2 hearts, he has the exceptional ability to wield 2 Keyblades. He's an example of someone who can use a Keyblade without going through the bequeathing.
Wow.
So there's like this whole lore about the Keyblade War and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty intense.
They never really explain.
Yeah. I feel like the book's going to have a lot of information in it that's not really like explained through the game. So
probably. It'd probably be good for that.
All right. So let us talk about the storyline.
That does.
So Sora, Riku, and Kairi, just your average buddies, you know, they're BFFs. Yeah. Kairi, Riku. Riku has like big Cloud vibes, kind of.
Yeah, kind of.
Build a raft with the intent to leave their home world of Destiny Islands to explore new worlds, because they know there are other worlds out there, but they've never been to them. On the night, right?
Yeah.
On the night before the planned voyage, the islands are attacked by the Heartless. What are Heartless, you may ask? Heartless are a being without a heart who is born from darkness and returns to darkness, the embodiment of the darkness in a person's heart. It's created when they lose their heart and fall into darkness. It has no intelligence or will, but instinctively seeks the great darkness and the hearts of worlds. It gains comrades by stealing people's hearts.
Little bastards.
Yeah. Okay. Sora mysteriously... Oh, wait, I skipped. No, I didn't. Okay, so before the Heartless consume the islands, Sora mysteriously obtains a Keyblade. Like, it's just there. Which is an effective weapon to use while battling the Heartless. Meanwhile, King Mickey
Mouse.
Mickey Mouse is king.
Holy crap.
Has left his own world to deal with the increasing number of Heartless, leaving instructions for Donald and Goofy to find the key that will protect the worlds from the encroaching darkness. Donald and Goofy use the Gummy Ship to travel to Traverse Town, where they find Sora after he has drifted there from his destroyed world. The 3 decide to travel together. Just randomly, it's like, I'm going to go in this spacecraft with a talking duck and a talking dog, you know?
Well, I mean, they meet and they like fight together and stuff. They're not.
Yeah. And in Traverse Town, you can buy stuff from Uncle Scrooge McDuck's nephews.
Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And there's also random Final Fantasy characters that live there.
There are.
Mm-hmm.
But are they actually random, or are they there?
Well, I mean, they're there because they lost their world. Same as Sora. You get it.
Donald and Goofy are there to find Mickey, or are leaving to find Mickey, and Sora to find his friends, Kairi and Riku. So they travel to various worlds, sealing keyholes in the worlds So when once sealed, they prevent the heart of those worlds from being consumed by the Heartless. So they're not filled with evil and darkness. Instead, they're filled with light, friendship, memories, and heart.
those keywords, yep.
So meanwhile, a group of Disney villains led by Maleficent seeks out the 7 princesses of heart to unlock the final keyhole that leads to Kingdom Hearts, a repository of knowledge and power and the source of all hearts. Maleficent also finds Riku and recruits him into her services, manipulating him into believing that Sora abandoned him.
Yeah, and she gives him like dark powers, so he's power tripping a little bit.
It's just Maleficent doing Maleficent things.
That's right. Good times.
All right. So Sora and his friends eventually arrive at Hollow Bastion. But this is the end, right?
Yes.
So in between all of that, you're kind of going to all the other worlds. Maleficent's headquarters, where Riku takes the Keyblade from Sora, revealing himself to be its intended user, with Sora only receiving it in his absence. Donald and Goofy reluctantly leave Sora as per their orders. Sora later challenges Riku, stating that his heart derives strength from his friends, inspiring Donald and Goofy to return to him and regaining control of the Keyblade. After the 3 defeat Maleficent, Sora finds Kairi's comatose body and confronts Riku, who is now possessed by Ansem, a figure who has been manipulating Maleficent from the beginning to open the way to Kingdom Hearts. Ansem reveals Kairi as the 7th Princess of Heart, her heart having transferred into Sora's body when the Destiny Islands were destroyed. After defeating the possessed Riku, Sora impales himself with Ansem's Keyblade, which is designed to unlock hearts, releasing both his and Kairi's hearts. Kairi's heart returns to her body, in turn completing the final keyhole, while Sora becomes a Heartless. Kairi recognizes Sora's Heartless, and the light in her heart restores him to human form.
Magic.
After Kairi gives him a good luck charm, Sora and his group venture to the end of the world, the remnants of the worlds destroyed by the Heartless, to confront Ansem as he reaches the door to Kingdom Hearts. And I feel like I have a hard time exactly picturing this in my head, but also it kind of reminds me somehow of Rainbow Road.
The kind of the end of the world place.
Yeah.
It is kind of like purpley and shimmery. And
yeah, and there are some parts that are just like narrow paths. I think maybe that's where I'm going. I don't know.
Yeah.
After a battle, Ansem calls upon Kingdom Hearts to aid him, believing it to be the ultimate reservoir of darkness. However, Ansem is destroyed when the door opens, revealing light. Also, beyond the door are Mickey and Riku, who help Sora and his friends close the door before Sora and Mickey lock it with their Keyblades from both sides. The worlds lost to the Heartless reconstruct themselves as the Destiny Islands reform. Kairi returns there while Sora is forced to part with her. Sora, Donald, and Goofy resolve to find Riku and Mickey. In a scene exclusive to Final Mix, Sora's party returns to Hollow Bastion sometime before Ansem's defeat and are alerted to a mysterious portal by the Princesses of Heart. Upon entering it, the party is confronted by a hooded man who samples Sora's memories and tests his strength in battle. Upon being defeated, the hooded figure comments that they are an empty shell before disappearing.
Oh, snap.
Yeah. And so, in the card turn game, is that where they're trying to find Mickey and Riku?
Yeah, they keep pushing forward to find him, and then they're starting to find a lot more of these hooded figures.
That's the X place or the X group, right?
Organization 13.
Yeah. What did I think there was an X for? Is there someone named X?
It's XII. It's Organization 13,
Oh.
Roman numerals.
Anyways, but that's the storyline in a nutshell. Essentially saving the world and your friends.
Yeah, basically Sora gets lucky, finds a power, his world's destroyed, but he's able to keep looking for his buddies, and he just makes all the friends in the world along the way in all these Disney places.
He's just such a likable guy.
Yeah, he's just the ultimate likable, nice guy. He helps save all of these worlds and seal them up as he goes.
He also has like a magic pouch for his Keyblade or something.
Well, Keyblade can kind of be like summoned
like,
and dismissed. Yeah. To like other realms or whatever you want to call it.
So I did find a thing I was going to go through briefly that I figured would draw some good dialogue, along the way.
Yeah.
And it is every world from Kingdom Hearts 1, worst to best.
Oh, okay.
And this is on thegamer.com. It is by Renan Fontes.
Okay.
And it was updated on May 29th, 2021.
So pretty recently.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do want to have you guess what the number 14 out of 14 is.
If you are asking me, it would be Atlantica.
That is the correct answer. Yeah.
I hated that place.
Yeah, I mean, me too, but mostly because I didn't like Ursula.
Yeah, the whole reason I didn't like it is because, well, I mean, Kingdom Hearts was really cool because in worlds like that, like Sora would literally become a mermaid and you would be underwater and underwater fighting. Underwater levels, historically rough in video games. And I just didn't like that you constantly had to not only move around, but you had to go up and down with the controls as well because you're swimming. It made the fights hard. It was unique and I appreciated their designs, but
there's also a lot of singing.
There is a lot of singing, which I'm not 100% a fan of.
Like even one of the things you have to do is singing.
Yeah, you have to little checkpoints.
It's kind of like a Guitar Hero for Under the Sea.
Pretty much, yeah. Disney Guitar Hero.
Number 13 is Wonderland.
Okay.
I feel like I had mixed feelings about this one. I definitely didn't do any extra stuff in here because it pissed me off.
Yeah,
Wonderland. The maze type thing, or where there was those mushrooms and you could climb on all the shrubs and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. And the problem with that place is that the mechanic there was shrinking and getting larger, so you would have to constantly be doing that to figure out where to go, and then all the topsy-turvy rooms. And
I think that this one I probably had to look up the most walkthrough stuff
for Wonderland.
Yeah, just because there was so much stuff where you had to be big or little, or the number of times you had to hit those purple things or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, it is a pain.
Yeah. Number 12 is the Deep Jungle.
Probably for similar confusing reasons. It's hard to figure out where to go there.
Yeah. I'm also really sad because since my internet was being weird, I didn't have time to pick a background for each world.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was going to do that. But yeah, it's easy to get lost in this one. Everything kind of looks the same, I feel like.
Everything kind of looks the same, and there's certain points where you need to return to the treehouse, which is the ultimate highest point of the map. And there's only one way to get there. It's very specific. And then when you leave, you have to you do the little slide, Tarzan log surfing down the way.
And there's also vines and stuff.
The vines were rough because you had to, if your timing was off, you would just fall down and then you had to go back up and do it again. It was awful.
Very annoying.
Yeah.
And then Monstro is number 11.
Monstro makes sense. Giant whale from Pinocchio, and you are inside of it the whole time.
Kind of gross, honestly.
Pretty gross. And for some reason, they decided to make all the walls and the floor the same psychedelic, weird texture. So it was weird.
It's like you're with Miss Frizzle and you went inside of a whale, but instead you're attacking everything in the whale's body and opening chests.
Yeah, and it has a bunch of the weird doors or orifice in the whale that you have to hit and open. You're this is
it's kind of gross.
Yeah.
This world is optional.
True.
But you miss out on an important character development for Riku.
That's true with Pinocchio there.
Yeah. Number 10 is the 100 Acre Wood. Which you find pieces of the map of it kind of, and then you can explore different parts of it.
Yeah, you find pages of the books in other worlds.
Yeah, who knows if I even collected all those.
Probably not. And honestly, you didn't miss a whole lot. Every page there gives one more mini game and weird thing you have to do in there.
You're mostly just talking to Pooh Bear who's sad, or Piglet who can't find Pooh, or
Yeah.
Eeyore who's just constantly depressed.
Mm-hmm.
But then you got Tigger, T-I double gut.
Yeah. If that's your thing, he's there at least.
Mm-hmm. Thematically, this world emphasizes the importance of friendship, solidarity, and being together better than any other in the game.
Wow. It's the most boring world in the game.
I have like such a dry throat.
Oh no. That winter colds.
Number 9 is Dive to the Heart.
Dive to the Heart.
Oh, that's the place where the game opens. I didn't know that's what that was called.
Oh, I got you. Where you fight the first boss.
Yeah, when you're on like the thing with Snow White on it and
the stained glass pedestals.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think. Oh, it says simple and clean's transition into the Dive to the Heart is absolutely masterful.
Iconic.
Number 8 is Destiny Islands.
Okay.
Sora's hometown. You can do some stuff here, obviously, before the story continues. You fight Riku, you get some coconuts.
That was probably the most frustrating thing about that place, was finding all of the supplies. Because the first time you play, you have no idea where any of them are. And there's quite a few things.
Mm-hmm. And getting the coconuts or the eggs or whatever on top of the trees is really annoying.
Yeah. And then you literally have to go swim for fish and stuff. So it's very fetch questy, but it's hard the first time.
Yep. Number 7 is Agrabah.
Agrabah? I did enjoy Agrabah. It was good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Those like spider barrels are annoying. But you've got the genie. You've got, what's the main guy? Aladdin.
Aladdin, yes.
And you're trying to save Princess Jasmine. Is that the right princess?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Good job.
And then his uncle is the bad guy. Right?
I don't think Jafar's his uncle.
I thought Jafar was his uncle.
No.
Or is it Jasmine's uncle?
I don't think so, because I don't know if Jafar is Jasmine's uncle, they have a very weird little sexual moment in the movie that I'm not fond of. So I think he's just the vizier for the Sultan. I don't think he's related.
Why did I think he was someone's uncle?
I don't know. I mean, he's probably someone's uncle.
It's a common search. Oh, but it says he's attracted to her.
That's what I'm saying. It's a weird part in that movie. Yeah.
I thought he was someone's uncle. He's royal vizier of Agrabah.
Yeah, the vizier.
And the Sultan's most trusted and loyal advisor.
Yes.
Maybe he's just supposed to be an uncle-like figure, but he's attracted to her.
Okay.
I'm going to search the word uncle. In the original tale, the wicked magician fooled Aladdin into thinking he was his long-lost uncle. In the Disney film, Jafar fools him by disguising himself as an imprisoned beggar. I was searching it on the wiki, not the internet.
Oh, okay. I was like, yeah, let's just search the word uncle.
All right. Who's Kurt Ziza?
Ooh, optional boss that you can return to in Agrabah. Very hard to beat. Good time.
Definitely didn't do that.
I did. It was a rough one.
Number 6 is Neverland.
Okay, yeah.
It says it's something of a turning point for Kingdom Hearts, placing Sora, Riku, and Kairi into a single world while heavily foreshadowing the end game.
And you could fly there.
You could. Yeah. It's pretty small. There's a lot of variety, and Hook's ship is very dungeon-esque in nature.
Yeah, huge ship.
Number 5 is Traverse Town.
Okay.
A world for the lost. Traverse Town is one of the most iconic settings in Kingdom Hearts. There are 3 districts. You don't get to go to all of them right away, though. Don't you have to unlock one of them or something?
Yeah, I think you get to go to 1 and 2, but then the third one is the last one you get to.
And also there's Dalmatians there. And sometimes when you're on other worlds, you'll find puppies. You can send them back.
Yes, there are 99.
Why is there only 9? Oh, because the parents.
Right.
I definitely. I mean, it tells you how far you get. I definitely never got all of those, but
yeah, it keeps track, and there's like X amount on each world.
Number 4 is the Olympus Coliseum.
Nice, good times. Very very simple world, like 3 rooms, but you know, it is what it is. You fight tournaments there.
Yeah, there's tournaments. There are different levels of difficulty. You fight Cloud in one of them. He's really hard to beat when you don't know what you're doing.
You think he's hard, and you probably never went and fought Sephiroth there.
I think I tried the hardest one, and never did good on it.
That is a tough one. That's kind of, I think Sephiroth is, I don't remember if he's considered to be the absolute hardest in the game.
Is the Hades Cup the hardest one? Or is it the easy one?
No, Hades is pretty hard, but I think there's one after that.
It says the Hades Cup is a 50 battle gauntlet against the game's bosses, Heartless, and Final Fantasy characters.
Yeah, and then if you beat that, you get the next one, which is just literally one fight, which is Sephiroth.
There's also Ice Titan.
Ooh, that's true.
That just says those are the super bosses.
There you go.
Number 3 is Halloweentown. I do like Halloweentown.
Halloweentown was really fun, and you got the iconic Sora, Donald, and Goofy outfits when you were there, so that's fun.
Yeah, and you get Jack Skellington, and you fight the paper bag guy or whatever.
Oogie Boogie.
Yeah, it's like Russian roulette without a gun.
Yeah, the bosses in the game were very unique, and that was one of those kind of a gambling one.
Plus, Jack is just love struck, you know.
True. And Jack Skellington was one of the few people when I played that I would switch Goofy out for because he's fun.
Number 2 is Hollow Bastion, which is the emotional climax of the game.
True.
And you start the second game at Hollow Bastion, don't you? Because they've kind of like rebuilt it, and isn't that where your like home base is?
So they reveal that Hollow Bastion is like the original world for the Final Fantasy characters. So like Leon, Yuffie,
is that
they
canon?
all belong there. No.
Well, that's stupid.
I mean, it's canon for Kingdom Hearts, but each of them had obviously their own world in Final Fantasy games.
Is each Final Fantasy game in a different world?
Yes.
How are they related to each other?
They're not.
Oh.
Yeah, like 7 does not relate to 8 at all.
What console can I get that for?
9 is the PlayStation, I think, the original. But I mean, you probably can download it electronically on any new console. But like the only ones that are related, like Final Fantasy X, there's a Final Fantasy X number 2. So obviously those are the same. But otherwise, yeah.
This game, the number 9 seems very like D&D like.
Yeah, it's
which
very
is probably
much more,
how come D&D people were talking about it.
Yeah, very much more. I think I can't remember if that one's full turn-based still, but very much like dungeons and stuff like that.
Anyways, number 1, End of the World.
End of the World is, I don't know if I agree with putting that as number 1 because it's like such a small part of the game. I mean, it's kind of cool because you fight like giant enemies there the whole time, and then obviously that's where it ends. But
I feel like this person is maybe feeling nostalgic for beating the game.
That could be
because Hollow Bastion and End of the World are like the last 2 places, and those are the number 1 and the number 2. So
yeah, I do agree with Hollow Bastion though. If I had to say one bad thing about Hollow Bastion, it'd probably be confusing because it is huge and there's so many rooms.
There are a lot of rooms, yeah, and like the library or whatever is kind of confusing.
Yeah, move like the books and the shelves and everything.
And because you can like move the books, and there's like secret passages, which is like honestly every English major's dream. But
yeah,
I feel like some of these are pretty good though. Like I definitely like just going to the Coliseum and fighting stuff, and like I definitely like Halloweentown a lot.
Yeah, Halloweentown was really good, and some of those worlds like Halloweentown that had like tons of areas in it, whereas Olympus is obviously just a tournament place, so it doesn't need to be big, but they definitely went all out on a lot of the worlds. There's a lot of places to go.
And I definitely learned that beginning thing is called Dive to the Heart. TIL. Didn't know that.
Yeah, I guess I've heard that before, but I didn't know that's what that was.
Yeah. Do you have anything game related, like your favorite stuff, how it makes you feel, that sort of a thing?
Well, I mean, I really enjoyed the fighting. It is pretty simplistic, like that video we watched. There's one attack button. As you go through the game, you add abilities to make your combos longer or different little moves you can add. But I still think it takes a lot of, it takes a lot of skill and patience because you can't just mash your way through it. You have to be able to dodge or guard their attacks and then punish them.
That's why it took me 15 to 14 to 16 years to beat
it. Nice little range.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed the fighting. I will say there are parts of the first game, obviously Kingdom Hearts, that are pretty difficult and the fighting seems a little clunky. The fighting is much more streamlined in number 2, but it almost gets easier. So there's that. But I really enjoyed it. It's really fun to see, Final Fantasy characters. You see Cloud, you get to fight Cloud, Sephiroth, Leon, Yuffie. I believe Aerith is in it as well. So it's really cool to see how all those things tie together. And then, like you mentioned, there were tons of like mega bosses throughout that you could go find, like Kurt Ziza at Agrabah. I can't remember what the one was called in Neverland, but there's like a phantom that you fight near the clock tower that you can go to. And then obviously the tournament ones, but it had a lot of extra stuff to really challenge you. So, the game is very nostalgic for me. I've beaten it many times, 100%. I have found every damn Dalmatian there is in that game and done pretty much everything.
That's done like the whole thing.
Yeah, I would make it harder on myself just for fun. I think I've beaten the whole game using only the base kingdom key you get at the beginning. You don't add any keychains to improve your weapons. So I've been through it quite a bit. So I definitely like it, but that's just me.
Do you have a favorite Keyblade?
I have a few. In the first one, if you take the time to craft the Ultima weapon, that's obviously the best one. Very hard to make. Oathkeeper and Oblivion are iconic ones because that's kind of your light and dark ones. You get one from Riku.
I always liked the Oblivion one because it was like dark and jagged.
But even the one you get from Cloud, the metal chocobo, is pretty funny because it's like huge, like the Buster Sword. So there's a lot. And you get Lionheart from Leon, which is like a chromed out silver one with a lion's head on it. There's lots of good ones. But on the flip side, there's a lot of dumb ones too. You get one from Winnie the Pooh's world. That's just a honeypot that I hate. There's a bunch of dumb ones. So
some of these don't say, like, they just a Keyblade encyclopedia, but it doesn't tell you straight up tell you which game it's from. Like, what's the Chaos Ripper? Who's Terra?
So those are the prequel games. Terra, Ventus, and Aqua. Chaos Ripper, is that his just normal one? Big giant one.
It says it becomes after he fights his master Eraqus in the Land of Departure.
Okay. So that's definitely one of the early games. That's probably Birth by Sleep.
Yeah, there's a lot of Keyblades in here though.
Oh yeah. Well,
where's the Castle of Dreams? Is that a prequel too? There's like 3 Keyblades called Stroke of Midnight. One for Terra, one for Ventus, and one for Aqua.
Yeah. Probably special ones you can get. I think Castle of Dreams, is that not like Mickey's World?
Oh. Maybe.
Castle of Dreams, Kingdom Hearts. Oh no, that's Sleeping Beauty.
Oh, which game's that in?
In one of the prequels, Birth by Sleep, yeah.
So in all those little games that you couldn't play on the PlayStation, those were all telling the story of like what happened before.
Not all of them, but they're like, because there's some that fill the gap between like 1 and 2, like Chain of Memories. Birth by Sleep is the prequel to all of them, so it's like the first one, and then there's like 358 over 2 days. That is also beforehand. I think no, it's actually between 1 and 2. And then dream drop distance is between 2 and 3. So they really throw all kinds of stuff. And that was the only thing that was frustrating growing up with it, because you're like, I just have a PlayStation. Why can't you just release it on the PlayStation? I don't want to have all these consoles to play them on.
Yeah.
Because you needed a 3DS, you needed a Game Boy Advance SP. I mean, yeah, it's been on all the things. Then you make the jump from PS3 to PS4 at some point, PS2. It's been over like 5 or 6 consoles.
Yeah, it's crazy. Bonkers.
And it's coming out for Switch pretty soon. Yeah.
I never play real games on that.
Real games.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I haven't even been playing Animal Kingdom because it overwhelmed me that
Animal Crossing?
everything. Yeah, what did I say?
Kingdom.
Oh, wow. I guess
Kingdom.
I've got Kingdom Hearts on the brain because Animal Kingdom was part of the inspiration.
Yeah.
But, also, we've already been recording for like an hour and 15 minutes. So maybe we should just do like the quiz instead of the which character are you? Or do the which we could do either or, I guess.
Let's do the quiz, and we could do a blog post about the characters maybe later.
Oh, true. Okay. I'll send you the link. This one doesn't have any pictures or anything. It's very basic, multiple choice.
This is all for the first game, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
The first question is, how old is Sora?
And do you know?
I think I don't know if he's 12 or 13 or 14.
So I don't know can you change your answers? Oh, you can. Should we just punch them and then wait till the end?
But I think it tells you. Oh, no, it doesn't.
I don't think
so.
No,
it doesn't. I just had my mouse hovering over it and it changed the color, so I thought it was wrong.
Okay. So I've got my answer.
I feel like he's 12, but would a 12-year-old who's not even a teenager just leave? I don't know. So I'm going to pick.
All right.
The Lady Luck keychain is acquired in Wonderland. Wow, that's a very specific thing that I absolutely do not remember. Lady Luck, Wonderland. I'm going to click false. It's probably wrong.
Okay, the next one, in the Olympus Coliseum, what is the large block in the lobby covering up?
What? That's the keyhole, isn't it?
I don't know. Is it?
I don't remember.
I feel bad. I'm pretty sure I know all these, so I'm not saying them. But you're gonna have to take my word.
I read this. I know what number 4 is because I read it.
You did.
What is
yes.
The secret boss in Agrabah called?
Yes, you did read that.
Is that a character from Aladdin or what? Who is Kurt Ziza?
It's a Heartless. It's a giant. It has like 4 arms, big swords, and it's like a cobra.
But why
head.
is his name Kurt?
I don't know.
All right. In Atlantica, what are drawn on the walls to help you navigate your way to the palace? Tridents?
I'm pretty sure you're right there. That's the one I'm going with too.
What color is the Trinity mark in Oogie Boogie's manor that you must get before fighting his first form? I don't know.
That one's hard.
I feel like I'm going to go with blue. I don't remember what the different marks did either, so.
I do remember, so I'm kind of making a guess based on that.
In Neverland, if I talk to Tinkerbell, where would I go to have a battle with Phantom? Oh, you just mentioned this. Is that the? What did you do? I don't know if I was listening, but I'll guess.
Okay.
When Riku takes the Keyblade, what weapon does he give Sora? A wood sword? Because that's what you start with. I don't know.
Ooh, snap.
After killing Riku Ansem, Sora is turned into a.
So this is the type of Heartless that he turns into.
A shadow. In the end of the world, the final save point is called Final Haven. I don't know. This is hard. And it hasn't even been that long since I replayed it.
That one's such an obscure one, though. I could go either way on that. You know?
I'm going to submit my answers. I'm going to lock it in.
Okay, I'm locking it in too.
Okay. I don't think I did very good.
Okay, so I did get the first one right. My answer, 14.
I couldn't decide and I picked 12. I knew he wasn't 15. So
yeah,
it was a 1 in
3. True.
Number 2 I got wrong.
Lady Luck is in Wonderland. Yes.
Yep. I did get number 3 right. Number 4 right. Number 5 right. Did you miss any of those?
I didn't miss any of those, but I did miss 6.
Me too. I picked blue.
I picked yellow, and I guess it was red. The Trinity
and 7
banner.
Clock Tower, Wood Sword, Shadow. I got 6 out of 10 right. I missed the last one.
Also, I got 9 out of 10.
Wow, I did bad. The average score is 80 or 8
so
out of 10.
I missed. The only one I missed was that stupid Trinity color. Man, that's such an obscure one to remember.
I suck at this.
Some of those are hard, man. Like the Final Haven one. That's Final Rest is what it's called. That's so
the
tough.
final word seemed right, but I couldn't remember. Wow.
Interesting. Well, there you go. I wanted to get 100%, but I couldn't do it.
I think I liked this game because you know how I feel about the power of friendship. Like, remember when we were golfing and we let those 2 ladies pass us and I was doing really bad and I was mad. It was only like the 3rd hole. And then those ladies were like 45-year-old BFFs and they were just having a good time. And I was like, look at them go. And then we turned it around, you know?
Yeah. Then we did really good. Look for like the next 6 or 7 holes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Friendship.
I'm really good at golfing.
Oh yeah, me too. Totally.
Well, you're better than me.
Well,
you've had more practice.
Yeah, been doing it longer.
But I do have a bunch of golfing coupons for this summer, so you just have to come home.
There we go. Find a reason.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, anyways, we should probably wrap it up. This has been a lot longer endeavor than I thought it would be.
Yeah, but we made it. We did it. It's a game that's very near and dear to my heart.
Oh,
yeah.
So. It's very near and dear to my bee.
Your bee.
Well, that's what they were doing in the video.
Yeah. Everyone go watch that video if you haven't.
Yeah, I'm gonna link it in the show notes. Yeah. Do you have anything to plug?
Boy, I don't think so, really. If you haven't watched The Witcher Season 2, go ahead and watch that. Because I really enjoyed it. Apparently it's getting slightly worse ratings than the first season, but I still thought it was good.
Why? Is it just pissing people off?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I read that they did make some deviations to the actual books that people aren't a fan of. But I haven't read the books because I'm kind of a scrub.
I bought the first book and I didn't read very much of it.
Yeah, I've played, some of Witcher 3, so I have knowledge from that, but I don't know the knowledge of the book, so it didn't bother me. Yeah, so that's it for me, I guess.
I'm gonna plug Uncle Jesse. That's who made the video for this guy. He didn't make this guy, but he makes a lot of cool 3D printer videos, a lot of resin printer videos, but also a lot of FDM printer videos. So you can find him on YouTube and stuff. His name is Uncle. I mean, his name's I don't even think actually Jesse. I think it's maybe a play on the Full House thing.
Yeah.
But you can check him out. It's Uncle Jesse.
There you go. Go check him out. Print some stuff.
Yeah, and shout out to Keaton. I actually watched TikTok videos.
Hey, look at that.
And I even said that, and he didn't even respond to it in the group chat.
He's probably didn't even notice. I sent him a text last night after we got off Discord because we got off pretty early, and I was like, "Hey, you want to play a little Call of Duty?" And he messaged me like an hour and a half later. He's like, "I didn't even see this. I was zoning out." And I was like, "That's all good."
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he never told me that your Christmas present from us arrived either. It was like 4 days before Christmas, and I was like, "So I'm assuming that like the shoes came and you wrapped them." And he was like, "Oh yeah, I guess I forgot to tell you." I was like, "Okay."
Nice. Solid.
Yeah, because he like messaged me about that like literally like the day after the shoes came out. And was gotcha. Like, and I had some like ideas of what I was going to get you, and I was like, "Yeah, sure. It doesn't hurt to have like one person, completely shopped for." So
yeah, for sure.
Anyways, that's what I'm plugging today. Uncle Jesse. You can check out our new website, We might make a post about which Kingdom Hearts character we are. It might already be out. Probably not. I don't know. But you can find our website at bit.ly/5mmPod. Speaking about 5mmPod, you can follow us on all of our socials at 5mmPod. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter. The Facebook posts, usually I'm the only person liking them from my private account. Sometimes Keaton, sometimes Sawyer. Woo. But and we get like 16 post engagements. Instagram and TikTok are usually a little bit better when I remember, but it's hard to remember to do Instagram and TikTok. But follow us there and give us a reason to be more present.
That's right.
You can send us an email to 5FIVE more minutes pod@gmail.com or on our website with topic suggestions, feedback, friend requests. You want an essay proofread. You need some engineering help. Just
you want me to tell you if those shoes are hot or not?
Yeah, send us pics of your shoes. Like, should I buy this or should I not? Or send us your sneaker fits. If you're into that. Yeah. Anyways, we would appreciate getting something other than spam messages from Wix.com and messages from Buzzsprout. So send us an email. You can find us anywhere you listen to podcasts, including YouTube. Download our episodes. Someone, for the love of God, give us a review. We don't
just do it.
I feel like I should just give us a review so that we have one.
Yeah, maybe I'll give us one too.
Yeah, maybe that'll boost it. Maybe that'll give us some visibility.
Yeah.
But downloading the episodes is the most important thing. So please do that. Share us with your friends and family. Your friends who are more like family than family, and your family who's more like friends and family. Just share us with everyone, the whole world. If you are a student and you have an entry task, it's like, what's something you're into lately? Like, tell your teacher, because sometimes they look that stuff up. You write an essay about us. Just spread the word.
Yeah. However you want to. You could throw some paper planes with our logos on it. I don't really care.
Make those little paper footballs and just
there you go.
Just shoot them at people, but write like "Open Me" on it, and then on the inside put like our information.
There you go.
Yeah.
Shouts out.
Right, like follow at 5mmPod for sick tips and tricks, something like that. Something that'll really like catch the attention,
Yeah. Clickbait.
Oh yeah, we're clickbait whores over here.
Yeah. All right.
I think I've said enough stuff.
Yeah, I think we've gone on long enough. You guys get it. We're gonna clock out till next time. So we'll catch you later.
All right. Bye.
See you.